the reason why we're here is because we want to work on a challenge together. And that challenge is called SS7 challenge or SIGTRAN. All these things are acronyms. So you don't have to worry if you don't know much about them. It will be a season of getting to learn a lot about telecommunications. So SIGTRAN is an acronym that means signal transfer, while SS7 is signaling system number 7, or sometimes it's called C7 or common channel signaling system number 7. So you might see SS7 or C7. So the basic idea is for us to be able to understand what SS7 is, the stack, the SIGTRAN stack. And since we have developers here, the intention is for you to develop those things. So I know some of you who come from the telco background, you have done a lot of traces, whether it's SMS call flows, voice call flows, and being able to see the messages that are being exchanged from one network element to the other. So today we are starting an initiative where we'll be able to create these things. And the whole idea is in the spirit of Natujenge, where our intention is to equip the next generation of software engineers who will create amazing products. So I will go straight to the proposed plan. So we have a plan, yes. And the plan started sometimes last month in June 2022, where the idea of building the SS7 and SIGTRAN applications from Africa came. And this is a follow-up from the series that some of you have been able to look at, the Love the Byte series. And on 27th, we called for registrations and we invited the community members. We have an Natujenge community, sort of quote unquote, that and we invited the guys who would be interested in dealing with the SS7 challenge to come. And on 5th, this week on Tuesday, we closed the registration. Actually, we were targeting to have a small group. So we closed the registration a bit earlier. And the reason was because we had gotten quite a number of registrations. I think we had about 30 something, which is quite a high number. So July 7th, which is today, we officially launched the challenge. And now the focus will shift to the next activities that we'll take in the coming days. So as you might have noted, the challenge is supposed to run for 2 months. And my hope is that you guys will dedicate some time to dive into a lot of learning for us to be able to achieve what we want to achieve. Allow me to say that we do not have an SMSC from Africa. At least I'm not aware of any. If any one of you has an idea of a company that has created an SMSC from, sorry, not from Africa, but from Kenya, you can mention, or even in the neighboring countries, you can let us know. But this could be a thing that we will create that will be the beginning of something great in this region. So we are quite excited. So for the next 2 weeks, the proposal is for you guys to dive into understanding SS7 and SIGTRAN protocol stacks or protocol stack. So we'll have a lot of learning of the stack, YouTube videos, RFCs, technical specifications that you're going to read. And here we'll have a lot of group work also, because we want to collaborate on this. This is not an individual challenge. At the end of the day, we'll have one solution that you have created. We could have one solution written in different languages, depending on your preferences. So for the next 2 weeks, so our intention is for you guys to learn. And for us to verify that you guys have learned, we will engage you guys so that we can know how best to measure that. But one of the approaches we are thinking of is having presentations where guys explain what they have understood and dive deeper into a specific protocol as we move towards the second week. So then on August 4th, we will dive into network programming. Some of you are familiar with this. You might have created sockets, TCP sockets, UDP sockets, or you might have created SCTP sockets if you've heard about SCTP, which is the transport layer protocol that SIGTRAN protocol stacks are based on. So SIGTRAN is basically signaling transport, and the stack provides a way for us to send telecommunication signals via IP network. So we will have to select a few protocols that you're going to implement. And in this case, because our intention is to build an SMSC and the modules that surround the SMSC, we are going to focus on some of the protocols that will help us achieve that. So we might not cover protocols that are meant for a voice call, but if you can do the one for SMS, then you can actually do the voice call very easily. So then the next thing at the end of August, we hope to build a basic SMSC. And so we'll build a basic SMSC. We will have an MSC and a HLR simulator for us to be able to simulate how SMSCs work. If these are Greek names or names that are not familiar, we will give you content so that you can actually get familiar with these concepts. So the SMSC is basically the short message service center. And it's the box that handles all your SMSs, whether you are on the network or off the network. The SMSC is the one that stores the messages and is able to forward to you if you're on the network or when you come to the network. The MSC is the switch. And if you go to one of the videos that I had shared with you guys earlier, you'll see what the switch does. The HLR is the subscriber database. Actually, as you move towards 5G, they are basically being called the home subscriber servers, HSS. But it's basically a DB that stores all the subscribers and their profiles that are there. And we'll also create a basic SMPP gateway and a basic HTTP gateway. Sorry for the error there. Because for you guys as developers, if you want to send an SMS, you either want to send via SMPP, which is another protocol, or you want to send via HTTP. So if we wrap our SMSC with those two interfaces, we will have achieved a lot. So it's going to be a very, very extensive session or discussion or a journey that we'll have to learn a lot. And our hope is that you guys are committed to learning these things. So you might need to work maybe over the weekend to just cover a few things. We might also need to get into sessions where we demystify a few things here and there. I'm also willing to help you guys uncover concepts that might be complex to you. And at the same time, if there are concepts that I'm not able to uncover, we also have other people from the industry who we can engage. So this is the plan that is proposed to help us achieve this. In about 8 weeks, we will be able to showcase these things to the world. Now, how do we showcase these things? One of the things that we are trying to see is how the telecommunication companies, the MNOs, the mobile network operators, and the MVNOs can also walk with us in this journey. So we'll be engaging Akina Thomas and Akina Pius and Francis and their bosses to ensure that they also walk with us in this journey. My hope is that we could actually put that basic SMSC. We get a GT, which is sort of an IP address for the logical address using SS7, and you get the point codes, and then we set that thing up, and we'll be able to actually send a message from a test SIM card from your phone. And if we do so, it will be a great thing. So we will be working on the finer details of how we are going to engage the community and the industry for them to know what you guys are doing. So I don't know whether there is anyone with a question up to that point. If you guys don't have a question, we will move on. So the next slide is on how we are going to organize ourselves. If it was an individual challenge, we would leave you to go and do your stuff. But since we are dealing with the team delivering a product, so the key idea is that we will have groups of 3 to 5 people I don't know whether you guys can self-organize, but at the end of the day, I think we could have group leaders at the end of this session. People could volunteer, especially if you believe that during this season you can be available to read. We need a group leader who is dedicated. And if you have maybe some experience in development, that would be a plus, because you can have a group of 4 people, but the delivery is not heavy. It can actually be done by one person, and we want to ensure that every group, they deliver something as we move forward. So we were hoping to have about 5 groups. I can see today we are 21 people. So out of the 30 something, I think there are over 10 people who have not joined us today. We propose to have weekly meetings. Please note, these are proposals. Weekly meetings within the groups. Groups, you can have as many meetings as you want, but we can have weekly meetings, and we will figure out how to structure them. We need some of you guys to come together so that we can come up with a way of ensuring that we actually progress. So the other thing that we need to do is group leaders will need to be committed. This is one of the requirements that we need to have. At least if you know that you're out of session and you can spare a good number of hours in a week to just study and reach out to your people and be a leader in learning and also practicing the things that we are doing, we are more than happy to have you. Then community demos and presentations. As we continue, we hope to engage the community and the industry. So we will showcase what we are doing to the people, to showcase maybe at different stages, whatever that you guys have done. So mentorship, some of you said that SS7 is a new concept. So we are here to help you guys. So personally, I'll try my best to ensure that I work with you guys. I can see how we are supposed to achieve this, but the key idea is not about me achieving, it's about us working together so that we achieve. Hopefully one day we can have many more things created from here in Kenya. So we will have you guys, we'll also get industry experts who are there to help us. And during the weeks, we can actually have sessions where they come and tell us a few things here and there based on their experience on working with these systems. So I think that brings us to the end of the organization. I think I'll answer any questions that are there from you guys, comments, feedback. Yes, we had about 31 registered members coming from over 13 universities or 13 universities. 20 of you are students, 8 of you are industry professionals, and we have 3 people who do not identify with themselves with any of the categories. So we thank you guys for showing up, being there, taking that step to register, and we are excited. This is a huge team. To be very honest, I believe what we need to do can actually be done by 10 people, but the more the better. So that is it as of now. I don't know whether there is anyone with a question, with any other question.